let's see, what does Arnvald say? Arnvald. Well, judging... I hate that I can't, like, leave it there. Hold on. Come on, can't I just... Stay. I hate it. In the meantime, the two of you can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in, Theodoric's day. Given that they would have been at least 20 at the time, you will be looking for people who have seen 40 summers or more. Anything they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, so be sure to listen well. Ha! And here I was thinking I was the party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Let's be about it, eh? We can meet afterwards in Gilbard's Gate. Some of these names I have, like, the hardest time with. You want to hear an old maid's stories, do you? Aye, well, most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. We'd only see his royal majesty when he deigned to attend the executions he'd ordered. And after a while, even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow and wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in cold sweat. Aye, I served at the pleasure of King Theodoric and lived to tell the tale. One of the palace guards I was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter in my life, and what I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which, of course, we were under orders to ignore. So we'd stand still as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors were unfolding within. If you're hell's bent on finding out what happened in the palace, head down the street here and ask old Ernold. He was the king's head scribe. Yes, I am Ernold. What do you want with me? He would have me dredge up some decidedly unsavory memories, yet if Alamigo is to move forward, we must needs... What was that? What was that? What was that? Oh my gosh, yes! Yet if Alamigo is to move forward, we must needs acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well, I shall tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodoric's paranoia and the public executions of its kinsmen? Those were terrible enough, but in his last days the king's fevered mind settled upon an even grislier method of disposal, which only a chosen few were unfortunate enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. What is this? Resident Evil? Even now, my sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodoric's blood were prone to share his madness, then mayhap it is a kindness that the monarchy ended with him. Since we're all here, why don't we share what we've learned? Allow me to begin then. As promised, I scoured the Imperial records for any mention of fantastic treasures and found precisely none. It is just possible, I suppose, that a corrupt official deliberately hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself, but I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find would stay secret for long. I conclude that our prize either does not exist, or that the Imperials somehow overlooked it. But what of you, Zordia? Were your investigations any more fruitful? Turned into monsters? And what could he mean by this darkness beneath the palace, I wonder? I met an old man in Alagiri who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison, but he said naught of cursed abominations. The Imperial archives were also silent on the subject of fiends inside the palace grounds. Could this scribe fellow have been spinning her yarn, do you think? Do you believe him, Zordia? His fear seemed genuine. If he was afraid, that does lend credence to the tale, though I'm not sure how that helps us in our search. Do not be so hasty. Ernold's anecdote may very well have told us where the trove is hidden, but ere I share my theory, there is a matter I would clarify. Erenvald, you spoke of light-hearted adventure, but I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding this treasure? It was all a pretense, I swear, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garlean blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say that my Alamegan mother did not welcome my arrival. Oh. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced that a spot on my skin was an emerging third eye, like the kind you see in pure-blood Garleans. My mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage, and took up a knife. Holy crap! War paint serves to cover the scar? Holy shiznits! That got dark. In the end, she turned me out into the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways of Alamigo, a feral child who got what he needed through begging, cunning, or worse. Dang. The best I can say about the years that followed is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually, I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees bound for the other side of the wall. It was then that I turned to adventuring, and that road led me to the company of the Scions. I tell you this so that you understand. I know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I drew steel on ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With Theodoric's gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. Thank you, Arenvald, and I apologize. That cannot have been pleasant to recall, but I felt it best to be clear in our intentions. Well, Zordia, are you content to surrender the treasure to Arenvald's noble cause and claim the thrill of adventure as your reward? Then I should be glad to tell you of my theory on the resting place of the Mad King's Trove. Are you minded to hear it? Prior to the great flood of the 6th Umbral Calamity, the salt lakes you see before you were yet dry ravines. And this, believe it or not, was the site of the ancient city of Scala, which rose and fell during the 5th Astral Era. From what we know of the period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by war, yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of the Loch Seld. Oh, that's why there's ruins at the bottom of the okay. It is my belief that the darkness beneath the palace, mentioned by Theodoric's former scribe, was not a reference to the prison, but to a place still further below, the ruins of Scala. I further surmise that the Mad King's unfortunate kinsmen were cast down, there not simply out of a desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodoric wanted to keep the ruins secure. Wait, you're saying they weren't meant to guard the Mad King's Trove? Precisely, and since we know the court thaumaturge was involved, we can safely assume that any entrance into the old city would have been magically concealed. Which would explain how a legion of Imperial soldiers and the gods know how many Alamegans never found a trace of the trove. We, however, have certain advantages which they do not enjoy. Zordia, would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the loch and search for an underwater route into the ruins? While you do that, Arenvald and I will seek out an ensorcelled portal within the palace. Some of these words I'm like, when will have you ever used these words before? You discover a passage that appears to lead under the palace foundations. Press on and find out where it goes. You come to a worn stone door, standing temporarily ajar. Temptingly ajar, it would appear you have found an entrance into the subterranean ruins. Zordia, it is Alfino. We have searched the prison beneath the palace and found a door concealed by enchantments. You ought to report. And you believe it leads into the ruins? Excellent, then I propose we proceed from our respective entry points and look to meet somewhere in the middle. Oh, come on, you two. We might as well make it a race. Victory goes to the first adventurer to find the treasure. Godspeed. Ooh, this music. Kelpie! This is so cool! The Kelpie is so pretty! Oh, it's that thing! The old one! It's the old one! Hey, old one! I am also old. Old one. I'm a Spriggan again. I'm a Spriggan! I'm a Spriggan! Ah! I'm so fluffy! I'm so fluffy! I'm so fluffy, I'm gonna die! I'm so fluffy! Whenever I see this, I think of, you know, those, pipe cleaners? Ooh, this is pretty. This is pretty. Zangbeto. Light homunculus. Lightless homunculus. Why? Why did he? Why did who? Zangbeto. Ooh! What? What are we? What is this? What am I? Oh, what? Nani? Nani? That was cool. After you beat Zangbeto, look at its body on the ground. Okay. The light. I can see. Oh, it's a person. It's a person. Yeah, because they said that they did experiments on them, yeah? Was that Seymour? That looked like Seymour. Chimera? Prodric Poison Tongue. People the Mad King thought might be after his treasure throne, so he had them magicked into monsters and sent into the dungeon for guard duty. Many of them family members of... Oh! I thought so. Okay, thank you, Frizz, for the, reiterating. I love this theme. I swear. Like, I thought I preferred Heaven's Ward. I still love, I can't choose. I literally can't choose. Like, this is an epic song. Oh, shoot. That's definitely one of the royal family. That's crazy. The blonde hair. No! Why are you dying? Don't die! Don't die! No! Are you... No! Did they fall through the roof?
大丈夫か、アレンバルド。ああ、なんとかな。いや、どうやらお互い同じ場所に行き着いたようだね。
Alfino.
しかし、これほどの財宝が眠っていたとは。
Oh, that's a lot of treasure. Yeah, Lisa's gonna love this. Our path was dark, treacherous, and fair, crawling with abominations. Long story short, it was a proper adventure. Quite, I'm still reeling at the sight of that mountain of riches. What? Like how you reeled at the sight of that floating specter, you mean? You should have heard him scream, Zordia. Must we dwell on such momentary lapses? We found the Mad King's trove, and that's all that matters. Alvino's precious. First Justinian, and now are involved. 'Twould seem there is much amusement to be had at my expense. Honestly, I might as well go adventuring with Alice. All jesting aside, we must tell people the good news, and I see Lys should be the first. You're joking! The Mad King's Trove? I thought it was a myth! So did plenty of people, but they didn't have Zordi and Alfino in their party. The credit of finding it should really go to them. As for what to do with it all, I vote that it go towards alleviating the suffering of Alamigo's poor. Our involved did not exaggerate, I assure you. We could not hope to carry even a fraction of it out on our own. I have taken the liberty of sketching out a rough map of the ruins. If you will assemble a squad of your most trusted freedom fighters, they should be able to follow the route to where the treasure lies. I'll make sure every coin is accounted for, and that goes for the spending of it as well. Commander, we've got a problem! Uh-oh. Deep breaths, tell me what's happened. A mob's gathered outside headquarters, and they've started making demands. You'd best come and see for yourself. Wait, why? What's going on? Who?
そうだそうだ。
これは一体どうしたっていうの？どこから漏れ伝わったのか。ホルドラがここに収監されているのを知って、市民たちが押し寄せてきたんです。
あんたら何をグズグズしてるんだ。あの魔女をここに連れてこい。俺たちの手で八つ咲きにしてやる。
We butcher the butcher, wow.
八つ咲きだなんて。それじゃ帝国のやり方と何も変わらない。みんな、もっと冷静になろう。冷静にないですって。私の婚約者はドクロ連隊に殺されたのよ。恨みを晴らさせてちょうだい。
I mean, understandable.
俺の親父もそうだ。騒乱が生じたと聞いて来てみれば。
Yo, Raubon, coming in?
聞け。アラミゴの同胞たちよ。誰だ。だが考えてほしい。帝国軍に連れ去られたまま未だ戻らぬ同胞のこと、彼らの帰りを待つ恋人、家族、友人たちのこと。
This music is
行
great.
方の知れぬ彼らはいずこにいるのか。これを調べることもまた大切なことのはず。復讐あるいは正義を求める声はよくわかる。だが今少しだけその決断を下すのを待ってほしい。我らアラミゴの民は今や新たな国づくりを始めている。故に我が輩は全ての同胞たちを前に訴えたい。
Raubon speaking facts.
国を担うことになる者たちが真実を知ることができず迷うことがあってはならないと罪人たちの裁きの場に引き立てる役割は彼ら新政権の担い手にこそ任せようではないか。
Ooh.
今は辛くともこの燃え上がる心を鎮めるべきなのだ。
I clap too. I clap too. Yo, Raubon for the win. Raubon for the win. Thank the gods, General Aldin arrived when he did, any later and we would have had a riot on our hands. After 20 years of imperial rule, 'tis no surprise that people should seek a target for all their pent-up rage and grief. I only wish I knew the solution. For Jola and her skulls may have aspired to be imperial citizens, but they were born Alamigan. To their countrymen they are traitors of the worst kind. The butcher has much to answer for, but to simply drag her from her cell and slaughter her in the streets, General Aldin is right. My thanks, Raubon. Listening to their anger, I could feel myself being swept away. 'Tis a difficult tide to stem. 'Twas the same rage which brought us to our feet and carried us to victory. But now the war is over. All the unspent fury is being channeled into vengeance. Some industrious souls even thought to seek out the graves of Xenos and his officers. It was grim. Oh. I want to build a country where people, regardless of race or origin, can live side by side in peace. maybe the time isn't right. Maybe people just aren't ready. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. The representatives will be here soon, and I'll be damned if I'm going to give up before I've even begun. Alamigo stands at a crossroads, and this meeting will decide which path it takes. The matter of Fordola's sentence cannot be suffered to disrupt proceedings. Then let's execute her and be done with it. She herself asked to be put to death. Nago, I already explained why we wouldn't do that. Sending her to the gallows might satisfy people right now, but where would it end? Should we round up everyone who collaborated, everyone who didn't resist? There would be no one left, and we'd be no better than Theodoric and Xenos. So what are they going to do about it? Begging your pardon, but might I be allowed to speak with Fordola? I caught a glimpse of her past. A moment of it anyway, during the fight. She's done terrible things, unforgivable things, but in some ways, she's a victim of the circumstances in which she was born, and that's something I can understand.
生きさせるって。でも、それは嘲笑うためでも、勝ち誇るためでもない。
全部無駄なんだよ。もう生きている意味なんて、これっぽっちもありはしない。仲間たちは、他ならぬ私の手で死に、そして、私はお前たちに敗れた。もう生きている意味なんて。
そうじゃないだろう。今さら本音を隠そうとするなよ。あんたは冷酷だったけどバカじゃない。全てを投げ打ってでも未来のため自由をつかもうとした。俺はそれを知っている。
Ooh. I see you for what you are. Ooh, we get backstory for Fordola? I've been wanting to know. Exactly.
フォルドラ、さあ、よそ見をしないでちゃんと歩いてちょうだい。今日の晩餐会にはガイウス閣下もいらっしゃるのよ。
ガイウス閣下はここアラミゴの総督を務める立派なお方さ。早く行かないとお目通りできなくなってしまうよ。
売国どもが。
ねえ、お父さん、バイコカドって何？教えて教えて。
Huh.
前国土ってのはな、ジョーちゃん。国や仲間を売り払って自分だけがうまい汁を吸おうとするお前の父ちゃんや母ちゃんみたいな薄汚いクズ野郎のことさ。
お父さんもお母さんも優しいんだよ。クズなんかじゃないの。
その優しさってのはな、俺たちの血でできてるんだよ。いやしガキめ。
What?
危ない。
Bruh.
軍人さん、どうかお助けください。主人が、娘が。
栄えある金のある帝国軍は属州民同士の喧嘩になど付き合っている暇はない。
Damn.
私たち一家は市民権を持っているんですよ。お父さん、怖いよ。
いや、大丈夫。大丈夫だ。いずれみんな分かってくれる。反抗だけが生きる道じゃないんだ。
Well, yeah, they were just trying to survive. Bruh.
蛮族同士の小競り合いなど好きにさせておけ。ガス抜きにはちょうどいい。
Damn. That's...
市民権を持つ立派な帝国人なのよ。だから軍に志願する必要なんてないわ。
私も帝国人なんじゃなかったのかしら。母さん、いくら市民権を持っていたって生粋のガレアン族からは蛮族と呼ばれ、同じ帝国人とは見てもらえない。
I mean, I understand where she's coming from,
だった
how
ら
she
軍に
feels.
入って誰にも文句を言わせないほどの力を手にするしかないんだ。
She wanted to be seen as free. Bruh.
そうか貴様ら、私の過去を見たな。
It wasn't my choice. I didn't do it on purpose. Sorry.
だが貴様らが見たものなど私たちのほんの一部だけだろうが。
What's happening? Oh, shoot! Is she seeing this?
こんな人の手に余る力を持ってなんで平然としていられるんだ。
Yeah, we went through more. Wait.
わけのわからない他人の人生を見せられて苦しんで裏切られ。
Because we're chosen. We're the
どうしてお前は歩みを止めない。どうして。
we're Highland's chosen. There's a possibility of her becoming a good guy. There's hope for her. The capacity to experience such visions of the past had always seemed to be a most desirable talent, but I see now that it is as much a burden as a blessing. Sorry about that. I let my emotions get the better of me. It's just that she and I are of an age, and we're neither of us one thing or another. I can't help but feel like she's my problem to solve. I don't know that we solved anything exactly, but we've given Fordola something to think about at least. Aye, and I found something new to think about too. Whoa! God, that scared the crap out of me! Holy crap. Sakat, why? You came out of nowhere! I wonder, could there be some fundamental difference between one who is born with the echo and one who has been artificially imbued with it? I'm so distracted. Well, the immortal flames have been scouring the research facility ever since the liberation. There's a chance they might have some answers for us. What news? You spoke with Fordola, I take it. Yes, as expected, she didn't say very much, but it wasn't a total waste of time. Arnvald noticed something odd about her. He thinks she might be having visions almost constantly, which is not how the Echo normally works. For a race with no innate capacity to manipulate Aether, the Garleans have conducted some exceedingly elaborate Aetheric experiments. Leave this section to me. What is over here? This is cool. The device in which Kryl was held seems even more ominous now you know its purpose. The surrounding pods are marked Supply Subject, while this one bears the label Master Subject. All the pods are designated to drain the Aether of the occupant, save that one right there. Unlike the others, the interior has been fitted with an array of sensors to measure Aetheric waveforms. To what purpose, however, I couldn't tell you. So many bodies! Every one of them a victim of these experiments! Few show any sign of external injury. From what we've been able to determine, they perished from forcible Aether extraction. Such a miserable way to die. Yo! Taken in combination with the testimonies of Kryl and Thancred, I do begin to see exactly what the Imperials were attempting here. The enhancement procedure entailed infusing a single candidate with Aether siphoned from a multitude of supply subjects. As for the master subject, in this case Kryl, the patterns of her Aetheric activity would provide the model upon which they would artificially engineer the candidate's aura. In other words, they were trying to recreate Kryl's echo? I believe so, which would explain our prisoner's present state. Krile is possessed of an unrivaled ability to hear the whispers of the soul, and it seems probable that the procedure engendered the same acute sensitivity in Fordola. The soldiers who guard Fordola, many of them lost families and friends and families to the skulls, and there's a sentry at her door, day and night. If she can't help sensing their thoughts and seeing their past. But you don't just see their past, you live it. All the emotions, all the pain. Imagine what it'd do to you. You'd never be the same again. Indeed, as you may recall, Isael was completely transformed by a single glimpse of Fresvelgar's past. Fordola has been forced to experience the agony of those whose lives she destroyed, and the guilt must be unbearable. That explains her request to be executed. If the results of these experiments have been relayed back to Garlemald, there will be naught to stop the Empire from repeating the trick. They could give the echo to anyone, to an entire legion. Bruh. We must be ready. We must learn all we can of these god-forsaken procedures, and Fordola remains our best source of information. She'll not be getting her wish. Not yet. Keep faith, lass. If you're to convince others to follow you, you must believe what you're telling them. People will respond to passion, but not if it's feigned. The forcible extraction of aether from a living subject is invariably fatal. How many died that Fordola might gain her new abilities? I've never known why I was given the echo, but this makes me want to put it to good use. I go looking for answers about the echo, and I end up getting schooled by Raubon. Yet more evidence that I don't know what I'm doing. It's no wonder people listen to him and not me. General Alden is a veteran of countless campaigns, Lys. You cannot compare yourself to a commander of his experience. I know, but I also know that I couldn't have convinced the mob to give up and go home. It makes me realize how much we rely on his authority, and how much I still have to learn. I wonder what he'll do when everything here is settled. I mean, it's his homeland after going to the trouble of winning it back. Might he not want to stay? 'Tis a quandary which countless refugees now face, to continue the life they built in Ulda, or start again in the land of their birth. Zordia, a moment! I think I made Pippin's voice really low. I am newly returned from Ulda, with a message from the Sultana. Her Grace desires an audience with you. She understands that you have responsibilities here, but asks that you visit the palace at your earliest convenience. An audience with the Sultana? Depending on the nature of the consultation, this might be the perfect opportunity to inquire about the General's future plans. Yes, we'd all like to know about those, Alfino, but not everyone's as comfortable interrogating royalty as you. Take no notice of him, Zordia. Oh, this gives me... Sitting at this table gives me, like... brings back really, really bad memories.
アラミ語の奪還がなった今だからこそ、折り入ってそなたに相談したいことがあったのじゃ。
Drink the wine, I dare you.
他でもない。ラウバーンのことでな。
Yeah, is Raubon gonna stay?
サカツ州の一人として、そして不滅隊の局長として辣腕を振るっているやつじゃが、アラミ語の出であることはそなたも知っていよ。ラウバンメはアラミ語の情勢が落ち着き次第ウルダ派に戻ると当然のように語っておる。無論ラウバンはわらわにとって誰よりも頼りになる重臣であり、右腕とも言える存在。いてもらわねば困るくらいじゃ。じゃがこれでも長い付き合いなのでな。わらわにだけは分かってしまうのじゃ。奴の瞳の奥にひとかけらの迷いがあることが。ウルダ派への残留かアラミ語への帰還か、どちらの道であるにせよ、ラウバーンには迷いなく後悔なく歩む先を選んでほしい。そのためにもこの目と耳で世界を知りたいのじゃ。Go
Nanamo, you can do it.
少しばかり 付き合ってはもらえぬか。
OMG, why is she so cute? Why is she so cute? Ordinarily, Papa Shan would accompany me, but for this particular outing I need an advisor, not a minder. And that is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. Look upon this procession of tattered tents, these refugee camps in squalor, at the mercy of the elements and Thanaland's predators, both. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo, and 5 since the calamity, but the plight of the poor has grown more desperate. You've done your best, Your Grace. Then my best has not been good enough. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to the unholy air. It was here, in this wholly unremarkable place, that my mother and father met their doom. Oh wow, that got deep. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in eastern Thanaland when an untimely rockslide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simply misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Raubon once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he assumed I must surely craved, but I refused. Even if my parents' deaths were orchestrated by monetarists, we could only have brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens, quite unaware of the consequences my actions would have for you and yours. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the monetarist's damnable games. Come, let us return to Ulda and visit the Colosseum. From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of documents, signings, and ceremonies. For years I simply signed where I was told to sign and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from the ignominious chapter in my life, for it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Raubon. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Raubon to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Raubon had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did. And when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore he would one day offer me his blade in service.
That's death. Raubon a badass, man. Bruh. Yeah, the Raging Bull of Alamigo. Why is she so cute? Why is she so cute? Why is she so freaking cute? Why is she so cute? Why is she so cute? Oh, this is so cute! Aww. Why was that so cute? That was so wholesome.
Words cannot well express what that man means to me. Aww. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papa Shan's love for me is as that of a grandsire for his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Raubon, with the authority of a syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge which could cut the strings that bound me. We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan's warn for long, and there are other places I would visit. When the calamity threatened, Raubon led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Carteneau, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louisoix would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I have made a custom of visiting this shrine during each of my little excursions. Here I seek the blessing of Thal, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. If I am able to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I have chosen my path, Zordia. With Alamigo now freed from imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees. Already many displaced Alamigans seek to begin the long trek home. To facilitate that process, I have made a small contribution, an artisan school in Ralger's Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. We do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time the Ul'dah's treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Manderville?
Manderville?
Then I need not explain his eccentric nature.
Oh my gosh. His name is in main story.
Let us make our way to the landing, and I will see the word. That word is sent to the gold saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us.
Oh my gosh, we get to see Godbert. I haven't seen him since ARR.
I had heard descriptions of its splendor, yet I never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbert was expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations.
Aw. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. Hey, Godbert.
My apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting.
No apologies are necessary, Godbert. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such short notice.
When my son's good friend and the Sultana herself come calling, there is no more important engagement.
As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid the refugees residing in Thanalan.
The unusual circumstances of our meeting and Your Grace's choice of companion would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is stop. Taxing Ul'dah's wealth to save Alamigan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea.
You oppose my proposition.
Most emphatically, I agree with Your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment. But what profit is there for Ul'dah in this arrangement?
Profit? After all you have done for Girabania's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune.
Forgive me, Your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not?
Aww. Her heart's in the right place, but
for all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it, to expect it. Then we must consider Ul'dah's own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear you spending the nation's coin, not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant citizens of Alamigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not Your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill?
Indeed, then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interests of the people of Ul'dah.
There you go. Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamigans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects.
You have given me much to ponder, Lord Manderville. I thank you for your candor. Zordia, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempts at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business.
I beg your pardon. Her Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how best to invest the wealth of Ul'dah? My dear Zordia, I have you to thank for this recognition, I am sure, and I am flattered that you came to me, truly flattered. But why settle for a lowly apprentice, when you could have the master upon matters of profit? There is no living soul better qualified to advise her grace than Chairman Lolorito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garderobe with gold. I should be happy to arrange a meeting for you, say at the Scion's former headquarters in Danalan. The Waking Sands would seem a suitable neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Fare you well, Zordia, and may your dealings prove fruitful.
Welcome back, Zordia. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share?
She's not gonna like this answer.
With Lolorito, and you agreed to this? I am well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the monetarists at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Ulda effectively.
That smug look on his face, man. He's laughing! Oh my gosh, why is she so cute?
これは一本取られましたな。まさかここに来て商談相手にマスクをかぶられる気分を知ることになろうとは。
Oh, face reveal? What?
これでよろしいですかな、七も陛下。ええ、リリラお嬢様とお呼びした方が。
Bruh!
七もでよい。どうやら余興は楽しんでもらえたようなのでな。
よろしいでしょう。一体どんな提案をしてくださるのですか。
Freaking Lolorito, I'm still like I still don't like him.
居留するアラミゴ難民についてじゃ。彼らの祖国への帰還を支援したい。戦勝祝賀会の一件の詫びとして受け取ったそなたの財産の半分とテレジアデレジの権益、これを財源として公費を投じるつもりじゃ。
Oh.
しかしこの計画はアラミゴ難民のためだけではなく、我らウルド派にとっても投資に見合う益のあるものとしたい。
どうやら女王陛下も世の中の仕組みというものをいろいろと学ばれたようですな。
Hey.
詳しい話をお聞かせ願いたい。
Nanamo being maturing?
塩とは食の基本にしていかようにも姿を変え多くの品を生む。そう。
Ah, that makes sense. This makes sense.
当地の住民との交渉は必要になろうが、この計画に東アルデナード商会として乗るつもりはあるか。
よろしいでしょう。イラバニアの白き結晶を我が商会の知恵と力によって100億のギルへと変えてご覧に入れましょう。
交渉成立のようじゃな。
Aww, she's so cute.
Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, Zordia, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiation to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo. So Raubon says he's going to return to Ulda, but she isn't sure he wants to. Tell us something we don't know. I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize this saltery does make a lot of sense. But on a more practical note, Lise, assuming the interim government elects to accept Ulda's proposal, I have one caveat I would like to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal, after all, and allowing Ulda to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alfino, it's like Kugane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss this proposal with the Saltery's residents. Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Zordia? I might need you to fill in the details. Then I shall come as well. Should Watt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. Ideally, one would want Alamigo's stake to match Ulda's gill for gill, in combination with a cast iron contract that should serve to prevent Lolorito from making off with all the profits. What manner of mischief brings you youngins to old Watts this time? What? They want to rebuild the saltery, Grandad. Sorry, tell them about the deal. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or the hand to put the place back to how it was, but it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. Worry not, Grandad. We'll take care of all of that. Commander Hext has been talking about starting up a regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if I asked. It seems Whisker has the saltery's security well in hand. I meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Watt, and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings. Apologies for the interruption, miss, but the General would speak with you at your earliest convenience.
話というのはだな。山岳地帯への進軍中にアレンバルドたちの部隊が拘束した2人の。
Oh, they apprehended some people?
当初はその軍曹から帝国兵と思われていたが、取り調べの過程で正体が判明した。
Oh?
ユーハセとローレンティス。
Yuhase?
イルベルトに従って逃亡していたクリスタルブレイブの残党だ。
Oh my gosh, wait, Yuhase?
バイサルの頂上にて神竜召喚のニエとするため、解放軍の闘士たちを虐殺するのに一役買ったらしい。
Yo, I forgot about them.
そんな連中を貴様ならどう裁く？
How would you punish these men? Oh my goodness, how would we punish? Why are you giving me so many choices? I'd say execution is not the answer, probably.
あれだけの裏切りを受けてなお除名を求めると優しいな貴様は。ともかく貴様の気持ちはよく分かった。いずれ同盟軍として法廷で裁くことになろうが、その時には
They must have a punishment worse than death. Worse than death.
イルベルドの件では貴様にも迷惑をかけたな。我が輩のどちらつかずにも見える態度。奴を強行へ誘った面があるのは間違いない。
Yeah, to be fair, this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Ilberd.
すまなかった。暫定政権の主導で新たな国の在り方についてもほどなく方向性が示されることになるだろう。そうなれば我が輩はウルナハへと戻り、これまで通りナナモ様を支えるつもりだ。もちろんここはアラミゴは我が輩の生まれ故郷であり、捨て去りたいわけではない。帰郷を考えなかったわけではないのだ。実のところ一人の気ままな傭兵として
Aww, Ravon. Ravon's awesome. I like him a lot. He's a great character.
だが我が輩はナナモ様の剣になると誓った身。やはりその誓いを破るわけにはいかぬのだ。
That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled, are involved, what news? We may have a problem, sir. A group of Ananta has arrived at the main gate, and I don't mean the Vera. These are the Kalyana, the ones that summoned the Primal. They're insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lisa's trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all of the native beast tribes, but we assumed the Kalyana would refuse it out of hand. We had best go and see for ourselves, Pippin. Take command of our forces and be ready for battle. Zordia, you've dealt with this Kalyana before. I'd have you at my side. Ah, the Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, but we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who call Gir Abanya home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Ananta. It is our wish, and you are welcome. We cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must ask that you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that it will all be returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. Let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber. Why do I have a feeling we've welcomed a viper into our midst? This Kalyana elder's intentions seem at odds with all we know of her tribe. What think you, Zordia?
Maybe?
You believe an understanding can be reached. 'Tis not entirely unheard of, I suppose. Those who followed Saint Shiva eventually sought reconciliation with Ishgard. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The guard must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the Scions?
Of course you can rely on me.
I'll round up our comrades and send them to the Alamigan quarter. You can go on ahead if you like, Zordia. My thanks. I will see you in the palace.
And there he goes.
There he goes. Arnvald told me of the arrival of our unexpected guests, and I agreed that it would be prudent to call upon Ishtala and Thancred as well. One cannot be too careful when dealing with the enthralled. I'm not familiar with the Kalyana tribe myself, but Alasei's report suggested that they shunned contact with other races, despised it in fact, even compared to other Ananta. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response to our invitation, much less an envoy, and I imagine Lys was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, it would seem wise to have eyes both inside and outside the palace. Ishtala and I stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over the proceedings in the throne room itself.
She's so pretty!
国外に避難していた人たちの死者、それにアナンタ族やキキルン族、ギラバニアに生きるすべての同胞の代表者たちが集っている。これからのアラミ語の在り方を決めるためにね。ところで、この大広場に入ってみんなは最初に何を見た？
I don't know.
私はあれを見たわ。今あの玉座には帝国が送り込んできた総督もアラミゴが生み出した暴君の姿もない。この中であの玉座に座りたい者は
Oh. They're like, no, I'm good.
誰かを座らせたいと望む者はなら皆ここに座りましょう。車座になって。私たちは皆対等な隣人であり、そして友人なのだから。
I like Lys. I'm so proud of her. Her maturity is amazing. Her growth is so sweet. You couldn't at least get a table? This is so cute. They're all on the floor. This is adorable. I love this.
リセは覚悟を決めたようだね。王政という選択肢を早々に除外させて、共和制や市長制への道を示してみせた。予想以上に話し合いはスムーズに進みそうだね。
アラガーナの村長としての意見は以上だ。
ありがとう。次はカリアナの族長シャンティさんの番ね。共和制への移行を求める意見が多いけれど、どうかな。
我らアナンタ族は人の子らを含めてギラバニアに生きるすべての者に対して求める
Oh no. Oh no. Big sus. Run? Run? What? What? She's back? Get in her bosom.
どうしてクリスタルは持ち込ませなかったのに。
詮索は後だ。みんなこの場から避難するんだ。早くテンパードにされるぞ。俺たちで盾にやるぞ。
Wait, what? But why? Why did she... There were no crystals. Yo, Raubon immediately. Yo! Raubon Pro Gamer. Right link. Hey. Let's go, let's go. What? The guards were already turned? Yo, Lise? 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 Look at her go! Raubon for the win, man. Raubon is amazing. Why did the guards turn so easily? Is it because Lakshmi is so pretty? Is that why? Oh shoot. Oh, hello. How do we fight her without leaving our allies wide open? We can't stay on the back foot forever. No, damn it. If I think like that, we've already lost. I have the Warrior of Light on my side. We can do this. Isn't that right, Zordia? You use the duty action deflect to dissipate aether spheres. Lakshmi releases. Am I gonna suck at this? You warn that allowing an ally to be enthralled by an aether sphere will result in failure. I hope I can do this. Okay, got it. Got it. I concentrate. What the heck? No. What the heck? What the heck is this? What the heck is this? What the heck? No, I don't like this. I don't like this. Wait. What the heck? Why? Stop. No.
No, we can do it. We can do it. Oh! Okay. Yo. How did she get out?
手伝ってやるから始末するぞ。
Yo!
この化け物をな。
Fordola! I knew she was gonna turn. This music! Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go! Where is he? Where? What? What the heck? What happened? Where'd she go? Bro, real bond for the win. Do not flee my dreams. What? Her presence is overwhelming. Oh, why is she over there? I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
I can't run away from this. They need us.
Then we stand and fight together. Alvino, the envoys are in your care.
Surely you do not mean to. Very well. I shall see our guests to safety. Gods be with you. What? I can't move. She's going after Lisa and Ralbon.
Active time maneuver. Wait, what? What? Wait. Wait. No. No. Wait. Okay, cool. This is cool. No, they do not weigh heavily. Thank you very much. What the frickin' heck? I don't appreciate that. Oh, wait. I have to go. Damn it. I have to be under there. I'm sorry. I just saw it right now. Lise, why are you here, Lise? Damn, wow, I'm gonna die. Help me! How I did not die, I have no idea.
so cool! That was a really cool instance. I wasn't expecting to have to fight her twice. Oh, Lise got her out! Why didn't that click?
ついさっきアナンタ族が王宮内で万神を召喚した。それであの人たちがたった二人で戦っている。みんなを守るために。フォルドラ、あなたには万神と戦う力がある。そして悔しいけれどその力が私には。
That makes sense.
前に時間だけはあるって言ったけど、ごめん、もうその時間はなくなった。今すぐ決めてちょうだい。その剣でゼノスのように自ら命を絶つのか、あるいはアラミ語の人たちを守るために戦うのかを。
Yo, Fordola, you made the right choice. Do we get Yanderig woman as well? What's her name? The bae that everyone loves? Oh, she's gonna see their pasts? I thought she was gonna harm herself. Aww. Aww. He doesn't say that in English. In Japanese. Well, understandable, obviously, because of the stuff she did. Yeah, not to see relive. Very good story. Aww. I'm not tearing up, guys, I swear. That was sweet. That was unlike any battle I've seen. I'm not entirely sure how I survived it, to be honest. Lise is currently living up to her own ideal. Not every commander would choose to enlist a former enemy's aid in battle. We encountered our fair share of enthralled outside the palace, enough to delay us from lending you a timely hand, I'm afraid. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have... It's my fault, my stupid mistake. Nay, lass, we were all caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson and watch our own more carefully in future. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldiers who first spoke up in favor of the Kalyana keeping their weapons springs to mind. A primal's servant is betrayed by his aura. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sri Lakshmi's influence. Thanks, Yishtala. We'd appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fordola turned up. What was she even doing here? I asked her to come. Exposition, exposition, exposition. It's sad, but Ragunfrid was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Fordola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She just
She wanted to fight for her country. If you say the world in which Fordolo grew up is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Alamegan, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people to let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other, and I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face, if that's what it takes. The first step will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you are not interrupted. Zordia, you and the Scions are to stand down. Get some rest, you've earned it. Dun, 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 dun.
先客は誰かと思ったが、貴様だったか。代表者会議は先ほど終わったよ。シガルドの庶民員という洗礼に倣う形で、
Oh, it's so
民衆に
cool.
選ばれた代表者による。これで、アラミ語における我が輩の役目も終わる。故に、ギラバニアの星々を
Aw,
最後に見て
Ralpon.
おこうと思ってな。
But he wants to stay. But also, Nanamo. Aw.
どうした？何か忘れても。
Oh, he wasn't expecting her.
ナモ様。なぜこのような場所に？
Oh, this is so cute.
ラウバーンよ、今日この日をもって
Aw.
不滅隊局長および査察衆としての任を解く。
何ですと？
ラウバーン、わらわはもう大丈夫じゃ。だからソラタは一人のアラミゴ人として
This
生まれ
is
故
so
郷に帰り
sweet.
同胞たちのために働くのじゃ。
またも全てをお一人でお決めになるおつもりか？
一人で決めることの愚かしさなどとうに悟っておるわ。故に最も信頼できる者に相談し熟考を重ねて決めたのじゃ。
Nanamo is strong. You got this,
最も
Nanamo.
信頼できるものですと？我が輩は
No, that's
信
not
頼
it.
に値せぬということですか？
Aw.
そうじゃ。己の心の奥底に秘めた本心を語ってくれぬそなたをどうして最も信頼できる者と胸を張って言えよう。
This don't judge me. I'm trying to hold them in.
情
Hold
勢が落ち着
on.
いたらウルル派に戻るとそう語る。そなたの目に迷いがあることをわらわが見抜けるとでも思ったのか。見くびるな。
Feel those feelings.
わらわが
Oh.
どれほどそなたを頼りにしどれほど信頼してきたのか分かっておらぬのは
Oh, Nanamo.
そなたの方じゃ。
しかし我が輩はあの時誓ったではありませんか。
No.
ナナム様、あなたの剣となると。
This is so sweet. Oh.
わらわはそなたから新たな剣をもらっておるわ。そしてロロリトラ共和派の重鎮たちをも使いこなす女王となってみせる。だからラウ
Oh.
バーンアラミ語へ帰るのじゃ。ここが そなたの故郷なのだから。
You're home. Oh.
ナナモ様。
Oh. Yeah, the Japanese voice actor for Nana. No, don't cry. Oh no. Oh, you're so cute.
ラウバーンよ、笑え。マラワは笑顔で送り出したいのじゃ。
ありがたきお言葉。
明日よりそなたはウルダ派の剣ではない。アラミゴの剣であり、より多くを守るエオ
You're
ルデア
so
の剣じ
sweet.
ゃ。よいな、ラウバーン。
はい。ナナモ様。
Aww. No. Oh. That was too cute. That was too cute. It's refreshing to like not to cry during a not sad part, you know? That was very feel good and very sweet. Like bittersweet. Arnvald is of an age with Fordola, both of them born Alamigan. One never wanted his Garlean blood, and the other tried to become Garlean but could never be. How can I read this? My nose is stuffed. Similar yet opposite, which would go some way to explain the tension between them. I'm trying to recover, guys.
ラクシュミからみんなを守ってくれてありがとうね。
よしてくれよ。俺は食らいついていくのに必死だっただけさ。お前が光の戦士と呼ばれる理由が分かったよ。すごかったぜ、本当にさ。そういえば王宮で七門陛下に会ったんだ。アラミゴ難民の帰国支援計画の最終的な確認でギラバニアにいらしたそうだね。
ナナモ。
ラウバーン局長を探していたものだから空中庭園に案内したんだが。
Alphino, you oblivious.
なんじゃ？わらわの噂話は？
Everyone just teasing.
ナナモ様？いえ、そのようなことでは。
Alphino's hilarious.
苦しゅうない。冗談じゃ、冗談。
Oh, this is so cute. Oh, this is so wholesome. My heart. Ah, they're a family. They are a family in my mind.
それよりもラウバーンよ。ほれ、言うべきことがあろう。
Oh, I love them so much.
昨日付で我が輩は不滅隊局長とサカツ州の任を解かれることになった。
父上の職務は私が代行として引き継ぐ。背負った受験がさらに重みを増した気がするがね。
Aww. Pippin will do an amazing job. Aww.
幾分年がいっておりますが、より名高い戦勝の検討者となれば受け入れ先も見つかりましょう。
Your remaining hand. Cute.
あのアラミゴの猛牛が無色とは、これは傑作じゃ。
Cute. Cute.
本当にお人が悪くなられた。笑い事ではないからさ。
Her laugh killed me. That was funny.
I want to laugh like that too.
帰ってくるのね。
I think it's about time to head back to Ralger's Reach. What's next for all of you?
Oh.
Alice will be eager to hear of recent events, so I shall join you, if you've no objection. I'd welcome the company. Zordia, why don't you come along to the Reach as well once you've said your farewells to Nanamo and the others? I have asked enough of you, Zordia. My only words for you now are those of gratitude.
Okay, hey. It seems my road has come full circle. I appreciate the support you showed for my earlier decision, overruled though it was. Aww. Hey, aw, this family! I must assume Father's responsibilities without delay, lest our rivals, both inside and outside Ulda, treat his dismissal as a window of opportunity. Rest assured they will find Tizona's edge just as sharp as my hand. Pippin's got this. Pippin's got this. Wait, where does the jumping puzzle start? I haven't tried it. The nub sticking. This? How do I get to the... What? How do I even get to the first one? Like, how do I get onto this one? What? Oh, is it... Wait. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I see it now. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. I already sucked. Why? Why is this a thing? Why? Why is this a why is this a thing? Why? Why? I at least want to get to the second. Okay, there we go. No! Oh! Oh! Is that it? Did I do it? First try, right? Yo, that's all the time that I spent in Kugane. I still haven't gotten to the very top of Kugane.
Well, we're here again. Alfino has regaled me with a thrilling tale of hidden treasure troves, mid-meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It would seem I missed everything. I was patrolling the palace grounds with Tancred and Rishala when we heard the report of a primal in the throne room. I honestly doubted my own ears. The others have said we were lucky to have our Echo-blessed champions nearby this time, but we'll need to keep a closer eye on the Kalyana. You can say that again. This whole episode has reminded me just how far apart our kind still are. It looks like centuries of fear and mistrust really can't be washed away in a day. But someone has to make an effort at reconciliation if these conflicts are ever going to end. How can I read? Reading is hard, guys. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've been doing my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals will only lead to more summonings. Indeed, violence will ever beget violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, summoning Lakshmi was the Broodmother's doing, and whoever replaces her might not be so keen on the idea. We'll just have to watch and wait. Which isn't to say we won't be putting the safety of our allies in the Vera and M-tribes first. I plan to have resistance scouts keep track of the Kalyana's movements at all times. My parents will be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the resistance army out there? Are we to prepare for Imperial counterattacks? That would be a question for the Resistance's new recruit, a military commander with far more experience than me. What? The Bull of Alamico? We We call it an army, but the resistance is really a collection of smaller independent groups. And when Conrad passed his command on to me, that authority only extended to the freedom fighters based in Ralgar's Reach. He just happened to be serving as the resistance spokesman at the time, and needed someone to take over the role while everything was in disarray. But that time has passed. When I speak with the other leaders about reforming the army under the new government, I'll be nominating Raubon as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed, he is, in all respects, the ideal choice, assuming he accepts the post. Alamigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we so carefully sowed have begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises and watch as Alamigo blooms. Gosetsu is back! I do give thanks to the kami that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. Yo! Him and, like, crossing waters. Amazing. Did she forget her memories? Did something happen to her? These dango are delicious. Will you have one? Man, now I want dango. Dango, 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 daikazoku. Bah, just like talking to a child. Oh, did she revert back to her when she was a kid? Why fate saddled me with this burden I shall never know, but I am alive and I must return to my master's side. Come, Tsuyu. We shall find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea. What's going on? What's going on? Have you read the reports? First Doma and then Alamigo and Lord Zenos put to the sword. Do not believe everything you read. I hear the Viceroy was merely wounded, and that he has already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boast loudly to take his head regardless. Wait, what? He's still alive? He's not still alive. Nay, Lord Zenos lives? Wait, what? Deplorable that our own officers should be fooled by Eorzean misinformation. Wait, he's alive? But small wonder the provinces have begun rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official, and above all accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors. They would wage war with empty words. Let them produce the Viceroy's remains then. We shall soon put the lie to their claims. Wait, what? Who this? Who's this? Who you? Who you? I can't see your face. Show me your face. Alright guys, I shall see you all later. Bye.